everyone. My name is Jesse Novak. I'm an e-learning product evangelist for Adobe, and today we're going to be talking about how to automate learning using Adobe Captivate Prime, our new LMS. So get ready for some exciting information, interesting ideas around automation and how you can use it, and the features that Prime supports to help you do this. We're going to start this presentation going through a few of the concepts in my PowerPoint presentation here, and then we'll go into Captivate Prime so you can see for yourselves exactly how all of this is put together and works. If you have any questions, please go ahead and post those in the Q&A pod, and the rest of my team, who I'm joined by, Roshan and Avernil, Mahesh, and Shika, will help to answer those questions. And any questions that you want to present directly to me, just say so, and they'll go ahead and put that into a chat pod so that I can see it, and I'll do my best to address any questions you might have. So with that, let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing about automation: what is automation all about? Why do we want to use it? What are the benefits of automation in learning, and how does it affect the experience of our learners and the experience as an administrator? You know, there is upfront work involved in creating an automated learning cycle for your learners, but there's a lot of value in it. So these are all things that, you know, I've asked myself, that others have, I'm sure, asked themselves when working within other LMSs, but we think there's a lot of value. This is something particularly interesting and fascinating to me, to see, you know, all the best ways to take advantage of automation and how that's going to help the learners have a better experience and improve their engagement. All right, so we just talked a little bit about this, but why automate? Well, the first reason is an easy experience for the learner. When you automate your course assignments based on the different features that are available in Prime, the experience from the learner perspective is very fluid. They will be able to take courses based on how you initially assign them, but as they complete different courses or they complete skills, new courses will be presented to them. So at no point will they ever be overwhelmed with a list of 20 courses on their plan. They can slowly, at their own pace, as they complete different courses, they'll get new ones based on how you want them to receive them. So whether that's 10 days after completion to give them a break, or immediately, you can also control exactly how long they have to complete it through automation. So for the learner, it makes their learning plan very clean and easy and simple. And that's really important to them. They want to be able to come in, do what they need to do, and then get back to work. Now, there's always also the other route where they can go and find courses that they can self-enroll in, but you can take care of automation, or take advantage of automation in that regard as well. If they go ahead and they enroll themselves into one course and they complete that course, you can control through automation that they get a follow-up course. Maybe they get a job aid, or they get some other piece of learning that can help contribute to building a skill that they might not thought of enrolling in themselves. So it also helps administration, because up front, you can think about how you want learning to take place in your LMS. And you can build out this plan, and you can align these courses through automation so that as learners go through their learning year, you've already done all the configuration necessary so that they'll begin to get the different courses that they should get at the intervals that you've pre-configured. So you can go ahead and do this all up front. For certain things, you can always go ahead and assign manually at any time that you want. But it allows you to go ahead and create this plan for the year if you want and take advantage of that. As I was just saying, you can also control the pace of learning this way. Through automation, you can put delays in when they get their courses. So if you want them to take a course, complete that course, and then give them a 10-day break or a 30-day break, however you want to configure that, then they'll automatically get the next piece of that learning cycle. And it gives you a lot of different ways that you can take advantage of that while not overwhelming your learner and helping them to find the exact courses that they need to be successful in their job role, whether they change roles, they get promoted, they move to a different location. There's all kinds of ways that you can take advantage of automation and get that work done up front so that you don't have to remember to do it later. Through all this, the other thing is creating a guided experience. User engagement and usability are two of the hottest topics in learning today. We have issues with learners being engaged. Well, this is a great way to help them be engaged because you can assign them one course just as the starting point. And then through automation, over the course of your learning cycle, however long that may be, generally a year, they can get courses automatically assigned to them at different dates and intervals and times and based on different role changes and skill acquisition, course completion. So there's a lot of different ways that you can help guide their experience, give them a better experience, get them the training that they need exactly when you want them to have it without you having to follow up day to day or month to month. It'll already be there and ready to go. So what are the different ways that you can use Captivate Prime to automate courses? Well, one of the most important ones is new hire onboarding. So whenever a new user, a new learner gets added to Captivate Prime, you can use automation to give them all the appropriate courses that they should have as a new learner. Information about your company, new hire packets, welcome messages, new hire employee forms, all kinds of things that a new employee coming into your company would need to help them be successful. You can automate that. So you don't have to send them an email with a packet of information. And you can go ahead, automate all that through Captivate Prime. And then the cool thing about that is you can report on it. You can show that based on the learners that get added, your new onboarding employees, you can see how much time they spent on it. You can see how quickly they completed it. And you can begin to see how successful they are based on your new hire packages. And you can see the effect, how they feel about the effectiveness of the different new hire courses that you present them with, so that it gives you the capability to take that off your plate and get information back about tailoring your onboarding experience to improve that for everybody in your organization and new hires that come in to help get better traction with them. So, and this works for multiple types of learning objects within Captivate Prime. The way Captivate Prime works is we have, if you haven't heard already, we use a modular format. So you upload all of your learning content as individual modules, and those can be packaged together in what we call courses. And then courses can be packaged together into what we call learning programs, which are like curriculum. You can also package them together into certifications, which allow for recertification, as well as a new feature that we just added called job aids. And job aids are not quite a course, or a specific type of learning object, but a useful piece of information that you want your employees to have access to. So you can have all these different types of learning objects available and automatically get them to those people when they first are onboarded into your company. It's a great way to take advantage of your LMS, take advantage of Captivate Prime, and to engage your new employees who are usually wondering where they're at, what they're doing, trying to just figure out how to do their job. You can give them the tools that they need to be successful, to feel like they made a good choice, to feel like they're supported without you having to lift a finger. You've already configured it, it's done. Anytime that you add a new employee to Captivate Prime, they'll get that information. It's going to be really helpful for them. So another way that you can automatically assign learning objects to your users is through a feature that we call user groups. And user groups are based on all the data that you have about your employees that you bring over in your nightly feed, or if you you do a one-time import, however you get your employees into Prime. Apologies, I'm still getting over the flu, so I might mute once in a while to cough. So these user groups, they're extremely powerful because they allow you to get very granular. We have one person raising their hand here. Irene, was there a question that you wanted to ask? Could you put it in the Q&A pod if you had a question? All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and continue on. And if you do have a question, Irene, go ahead and put it in the Q&A pod, and either myself or somebody from the team will go ahead and answer it. So Prime automatically creates these user groups. And this can be departments, organizations. It can be things like the location or region they belong to, cost centers, all kinds of different interesting things. So once you understand user groups and how they are in Prime, then you can take advantage of them for automation. So a couple of examples of how you can assign courses this way. Oh, is anybody else having problems hearing? Irene is saying that she can't hear me. Okay, so other people can hear me. The audio is fine. Please let Irene know that if she logs back out and in, it should fix her audio problems. I'm going to go ahead and continue though. So Prime, as I was saying, Prime automatically creates these user groups, and you can use these things for. So say somebody changes roles, their job title changes, or they get promoted, and there's specific learning that you want to assign based on that role change or that promotion. Well, you can automatically go ahead and you can use learning plans to do that. All you would do is select when you change role, change to a new user group, assign this learning. And you can do that with a course, a learning program, a certification, a job aid. So it can take care of all of that. And we know that throughout the year, people are constantly changing to different parts of the company, getting promoted, changing roles. You have new people coming in. So this is really powerful. Like location or region. Somebody changes from the Northeast to the Southeast, and they're on your sales team. And those two sales teams might operate slightly differently and have their own SOPs. So you can use learning plans when somebody changes like that to get them the correct training that they should have. Maybe they change product lines that they're selling. So you can do that as well, and you can give them the appropriate training through automation that way. Departmental and org changes, and then things like leadership potential. Now that's a huge one in the industry today, identifying leaders. So we have the capability to allow managers to nominate learners for certain types of courses. And a great use case for that is for picking out your star performers for leadership. And by doing that, starting them on that one course, you can start them down a leadership track that way. So the manager nominates them for the first in a series, and then using automation, you can, over the course of the year or over the course of several months, depending on how often you assign them courses that are in that leadership track, you can begin to groom those employees for leadership. So it's a really cool way to be able to take advantage of this as well. Another way is when the learner completes a learning object. So say somebody completes a course, a learning program, certification, job aid, whatever it might be, and you want to assign them a follow-up to that 30 days later. So say they take a course and 30 days later you want them to have a job aid just to improve retention and make sure that they are getting follow-up information. Well, you can use learning plans to do that. Or as I was saying before, if you wanted to create a learning track and you have everybody start on say a learning program that's generic for just themselves, just for everybody, but then you want to get more specific. So when everybody completes that generic learning program, then based on their role, their location, their department, you can then go ahead and create learning plans that will assign them the next phase of training you want, but that it gets more specific to a particular group that they belong to. So that's really cool too, because it allows you to create these tracks, determine when you want them assigned, and to get very granular and specific in the information that employees are getting. And that's really important for engagement as well. You want the learner to feel like they're having a very tailored experience. You want them to feel like they're getting exactly what they need to do their job, not just something that's generic for everybody and kind of works for everybody, but something that is going to provide them value, and they're going to see and feel how that's going to affect their job performance so they can do better within the organization. And as we all know, everybody wants to do better in the organization because, well, we all want to make more money, we want to progress in our careers, and that's what learning can help do. And by automating it and getting them the right piece of training at the right time can really help them to do that. Yes, Captivate Prime, whether you use the self-enrollment feature or you use manager approval or manager nomination or the admin just assigns something or you use a learning plan, anytime a learner is enrolled in a course, Captivate Prime takes care of notifying them through email to let them know that they have been assigned something that they have to do. It provides them a link in that email so they can just quickly get to Captivate Prime, log in, and complete that training. So, not only can you automate assignment, but you can also automate, it already takes care of all the appropriate email notifications that your learners would need to know what they should be doing. Dave, to answer your question, yes, we do have a method where you can set up Prime to work for external groups. The way that works is you would send a link to a specific responsible party and allocate a certain number of seats and a time frame in which they can use those seats. And then you can use what we call catalogs to control visibility of the courses for those external learners. And then you can, of course, use learning plans to automate how those external learners go through their training within the system as well. So the final piece about automation and how you can do different types of assignment is through skills. And in Captivate Prime, we feel very strongly about letting the learner understand what skills they're working towards. And this is important that they understand what skills are required for their current job role, what skills are required for the next level that they might want to reach, or potentially adjacent roles that they're close to in the event that they want to make a lateral move into a different area. So achievement of skills is another way where you can take advantage of automating assignment. Say a learner achieves Leadership 1, and you want to automatically assign them courses that would prepare them for Leadership Level 2. Well, you can go ahead and use learning plans to do that as well. So we also support up to 3 levels for each skill. So once again, whether it's jumping from one skill to a new skill or different levels of the same skill, learning plans allow you to take advantage of assignment that way as well, so that you can get the correct training to that learner at their pace. So this really helps learners be able to take advantage of getting the information they want as quickly as they want, or if you choose to put delays into how quickly they can get that information assigned to them automatically, you can do that as well. So there's a lot of power and a lot of simplicity on the learner's side of things, and takes a lot of work off of your side of things once you've already got it completed. Just like with courses, you can create skill paths. So if you have a set of skills that you want learners to achieve in a particular order, or everybody might learn one skill, but then beyond that one skill, they begin to branch off. You can use learning plans to create that branching so that as learners move through this, they get assigned more and more specific courses that build skills that are required for their particular job. So that also provides a lot of cool power for this. All right, so we've talked about the different ways that you can utilize automation, that you can take advantage of it. I'm going to pause here. This is a good opportunity for questions. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to jump into Captivate Prime, and I'm going to show you what all this looks like and how it works. So at this point, does anybody have any particular questions that they'd like answered? Particular use cases that you've been thinking about but never had the tools to go ahead and do it? I'd be happy to answer any of those. If I don't see any questions, I'll go ahead and jump into Captivate Prime and show you how learning plans work. And then at the end, I'm going to leave some time available for just general questions, either about learning plans or about Captivate Prime as a whole. All right. Well, seeing that it doesn't appear that there are any specific questions right now, I am going to go ahead and share my screen. And we can take a look at Captivate Prime. All right, so here we are in Captivate Prime. And one thing that is very important to us at Adobe and the Captivate Prime team is keeping things really simple and easy and usable. That's really our motto internally to ourselves. Is this the simplest way to do it? Is it going to be easy? Is it going to be usable? If it's not, we reevaluate what we're doing and we take another look at it and we try to find a better way. So this is our administrative screen, and you can see right away that the primary tasks of an administrator are laid out right in front of you. All the different features that are available to you are laid out down the left-hand side. There's no nested menus everywhere, and you don't need breadcrumbs because you're not going to be 17 levels down into the product somewhere and don't remember how you got there. It's all right there, easy and laid out for you. And if you forget how to do something, we have built-in tutorial videos as well as a quick launch help system that allows you to answer questions about specific roles that you're looking for. All right, so now back to what I was talking about. So here's our courses and learning programs, certifications, catalogs, job aids, and here's learning plans. So I'm going to take you on a very quick tour through how you build courses and whatnot so that you can then understand what you would then do with learning plans. And then we'll continue on from there. So Prime is built on a 4-role system. In the future, we will be adding a 5th instructor role, which we can talk about that a little bit later. So as I was saying earlier, it's a modular system. So you create modules, and your modules would be your presenter courses, your Captivate courses, PowerPoint, videos, audio, PDFs, Word documents, just about anything that you would want to upload. And you can use any authoring tool that you want as long as it can export to XAPI, SCORM, or AICC. So we're very compatible with all the tools out there. We do have deeper integration with Captivate 9. You can actually author your learning in Captivate 9 and publish directly from Captivate 9 to Captivate Prime. So there are some advantages there. But you can see these are all the different pieces of courses that I would build. So once you've uploaded all your modules, you would then go ahead and you'd build those into courses. Let's look at our course catalog as an author, and we'll look at a course that's in draft that I'm working on. Let's say I'm working on a business communication course. And once again, laid out very clean, very simple. All you need is a name, short description, overview, and then you can just select the modules that you want to add. And you can just drag and drop them however you want to see them. And it gives you the ability to specify whether or not these modules have to be taken in a specific order, or the learner can take them in any order that they want. You can also add pre-work, and you can add a test out module. So if you want to allow the learner who might already know this information to take a quick assessment that validates that they do know the information and then be considered complete in the course, you can do that. You can also add different skills to a course, and this is where the acquisition of skills that I was talking about comes into play. So as you assign different skills to different courses, as learners complete those courses, they will work towards achieving a skill, and they'll be able to see that on their learner dashboard. And one of the ways that you can take advantage of learning plans is through the completion of a skill, and they do that by completing courses that have skills assigned to them. There are several different types of enrollment. You have self-enrollment. You have, sorry, my computer has locked up here. Just give me 1 second. Just give me a second. I had a different program crash. I'm going to try to kill it. My apologies. I unfortunately left a unrelated program running, and it has locked up my computer. I'm trying to get it back now as we speak. All right, can you guys see? Can you guys still see my screen? My apologies, everyone. I'm trying to recover as quickly as I can here. All right, so hopefully you can hear me, because I can't see anything. So I'm going to keep going. So once you've gone ahead and you've selected all your settings for a course, I'm really sorry, everyone. Hopefully you guys can hear me, and I am working very diligently to resolve this issue as we speak. I'm going to stop sharing for 1 second. All right, can you guys, all right, it says you guys can hear and see fine. I'm going to go ahead and reshare my screen. My apologies, I have not had that happen in a really long time. I love Windows 10, but these things happen sometimes. All right, so back to where I was. Really sorry about that, everyone. Okay, so we'll talk about a course for just a second more, and then we're going to move into learning plans. So with a course, you can also select several different enrollment types. And we talked about these earlier: self-enroll, manager nominated, manager approved. And then the admins can always assign courses no matter what type is selected there. You can add prerequisites, which can be recommended or enforced. You can add job aids. And then a very important part for the learner's experience is adding keywords so that they can help with searching. And then this is what a course would look like for them. So you can test that as an administrator and be able to see what that looks like. So in a respect for your time, and since we had this little issue, I'm going to go ahead and jump to learning plans right now. All right, so I've pre-configured a bunch of learning plans because this is what you would do. At the beginning of your year, you would put together all the courses that you already have, and you would decide, how do you want to assign these? Are there specific tracks that you want to build? Are there specific courses that should automatically be assigned to new hires? Are there specific sets of courses that should automatically be assigned when a learner achieves a skill? So you map all that out. You think about what you have and what you want to do. And of course, as the year goes on and you build out new courseware for your organization, you can go ahead and add to your learning plans. But let's talk about the ones that I have right here. And then I'm actually going to demonstrate what would happen based on one of the ones that I have configured. So we have several here. So I have a Leadership 1 to Leadership 2 learning plan. And what this one does is this is based on a course completion. And I guess before I actually go into the ones I built, let me show you what the different types are. So we talked about these earlier in my PowerPoint session. where you have new users added. So these are your new employees, and these are the ones this is the one that you're going to use for onboarding. So when you select new users added, you can choose, then you can choose whatever type of course you want. All you would do is start typing in, and you see that I have several different types of new hire courses. I would select the one that I want. It would allow me to specify the number of days that they have to complete this, and then you can go ahead and you can specify the type of reminders and recurrence that you have right there. So that's when a new user is added. So we also talked about when a user changes groups. And there's all different types of groups that you can have. You can, based on the number of groups that you, based on the information that you bring over about your employees, are the different types of groups that you're going to have. The most popular and most, the most useful, maybe not most useful, but most commonly used is going to be promotion or role change. So if a user gets added to the group manager. So we have several different types of profiles as manager, but we also could say anybody that gains the role manager. And you can do this for multiple groups, so you don't have to just say one group. You can specify different groups that might also benefit from this, all within one learning plan. Once again, you can then go ahead and choose a course. So let's see, I have these honing your leadership skills courses. So maybe if somebody becomes a manager, I want them to take the Honing Your Leadership Skill Part 1, and maybe they have 30 days to complete that. And you have the option to assign it to users who currently are in the group. So if they're already a manager and this is a new piece of learning that you want managers to get, you can go ahead and check that. So they don't have to change into that group. If you also want people that are already in that group to get this, you can go ahead and select that. Once again, you can specify the reminders that you want, and all you would do is click Save, and you have a new learning plan. This was a new one that we added. We just had a release in February. Originally, we had the ability to handle onboarding and to handle group change, but we thought that it would be really valuable to have when a user completes a learning object. So this is when they complete a course and you want them to have another course that follows that up, or you want to create a learning track through automation. This is the one that you would use to do that. And once again, all you would do is type in the learning object that they complete. You would specify which group they belong to, and it could be all learners, all admins, all managers, or it could be people that are in. We have some users that are part of a flight crew, as my demo site is for Cloud Air, which is a small airline. So you might say that this is for everybody that belongs to the organization flight staff. So you could specify that for them, and then go ahead and once again, you can pick the days to complete. When it comes to the learning object learning plan option, you also have the capability of saying, well, maybe I don't want them to get this immediately. Maybe I want them to have a break so that they can practice a specific skill, and then after a set period of time, say 30 days, not 390, then they would get the next object. And you can also, once again, do this for users who already have completion. So maybe there are learners that have already completed the first course, and you're now just getting around to building this learning plan, and you want people that have already completed the course and people that will complete the course to take the next step. You can go ahead and click this right here, and it takes care of it. So the final one we talked about is when user achieves a skill. And this is very much like the previous one where they complete a learning object, except that this one requires usually that they complete a set of courses or a specific learning program, maybe a certification. It just depends. But usually this one is used when they've done more than just one course. They've done several courses that are necessary to achieve a particular skill or skill level. And once again, you can specify uh, the specific group that they belong to, the region, location, the cost center, just about any piece of employee data that you would find useful to get to the very specific group that you want to assign something to. As long as you bring that data over in your nightly feed, we break that out into user groups, and you can use that as part of learning plans. Another cool feature in user groups is that you can create your own custom user groups. So say you want to combine user groups, or you want to make sure that only certain parts of your company are in a combined user group because you always assign courses to a specific set of people that are a combination. So you have the power to do that as well. All right, so that is how you build learning plans. So once you've built learning plans, and like I said, I have a ton of different ones here that I've already built, and you can enable and disable them. So say maybe you don't want one, you built one and you want to disable it for a while you update certain courseware, you can do that. So I have a leadership 1 to leadership 2. This one is this is the completion of a learning object learning plan. And in this case, anybody that has completed Honing Your Leadership Skills Part 1 will automatically be assigned, and they belong to all learners, so this is any learner, will automatically be assigned the second part of this one, which is Honing Your Leadership Skills Part 2. And they'll have 180 days to complete it. Here's one that is a new hire where they are added to the system and they've completed, oh, nope, sorry, this is not a new hire even though it says new hire. They complete the employee new hire one, and they are a reservation specialist. So they will also get an additional new hire course that is specific to reservation specialists. Let's see, what else do we have here? Here's one that is for skills. So a user has completed the skill professionalism, and once they've completed that skill professionalism, we want them to begin on a specific course, Honing Your Leadership Skills 1, and that'll start them on the leadership skill track. So it's an interesting way where you have all these different options to automate how learners go through your system, through all the learning that you have available without you having to do anything. And as they have access to different courses, and you can control visibility, so you can begin to have a very tailored experience for your learners, which is really cool and really important in that it can really help with engagement. Here's some other good examples. So we have built in these courses: administration in Prime, authoring in Prime, managing in Prime, and learning in Prime. So you wouldn't want a learner that is not a manager and not an author and not an administrator to get these first three, but when they get the role learner, they get a how-to use Captivate Prime course. If they're also a manager, they would get a course on how to do that. And likewise for the other two, author, admin. So you can get very specific on role too, making sure that the different roles have tools that are necessary to help them be successful using the LMS without you having to assign these things. And then you can simply follow up using reporting. So I want to leave time for more general questions, but very quickly, I just want to show you what this looks like. So I'm going to log out of my administrator here. And I'm going to log in as another of my demo employees. And so here we are with Elise Hutter. And she has one of the courses that we've been talking about, this Honing Your Leadership Skills course. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to take this course because, as you saw, we built out a learning plan that once you take a course in the Part 1 course, you'll get the Part 2 course. So you also get to see the really cool feature which we call the Fluidic Player. The Fluidic Player is cool because it takes all of your different types of courses, whether that be external links or your PowerPoints or your Captivate courses, and it plays them all through a single player. In this case, as part of Honing Your Leadership 1, we're going to take them to YouTube where they can watch a TED Talk on leadership. What makes great leaderships and how to inspire action. Now, I'm not going to make you watch the whole video. But once they've completed watching the video, they can say that they've completed that task, and then we'll take them through a quick quiz on manager training. And they'll come through, and you would build this quiz based on the information that they got from the TED Talk, and we want to go ahead and make sure we answer this right so that they pass the course. Let's see, I always do this. Oh, hopefully I always do this anyway. When I delegate work, do I give it to whoever has the most time available? No, I want to give it to whoever's the most capable, being respectful of their time. Let's see, I make decisions that carefully follow careful analysis. No, my gut is never wrong. That may or may not be true, but I'm going to say it anyway. Technical skills are the most important skill. Well, people skills are also important. But I personally, being a technical person, believe that a good mix of the two is an important thing. So I've now completed my quiz, and there were 10 points available. Oh, no, I didn't pass. I must have really not paid attention to that video, considering I didn't watch it. But anyway, the way that the settings, the success criteria and completion criteria were set, I was able to pass that course anyway, and so I can always come back and revisit a course. But now when I come to my home page and I look at my timeline, you can see, based on that learning plan, the way that it was set up, I now have the second part of that course. And that's what learning plans do for you. They allow you to automatically create the experience that you want for the learner and tailor that and set it up ahead of time, and then let Captivate Prime do the work for you. All right, so with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing, and now I want to open up the floor for questions and answer anything that I can do. So let's see. So what else do we have here? What questions are coming up? Can you send this to more than one person? Yeah, a learning plan is not specific to a person. It is based on data that's in the background, so it will send out to all the appropriate people. That's the beauty of automation. It's not a one-to-one thing. It's based on completion or new hire, or it goes to everybody that matches that appropriately, so that you don't have to keep track of that. Now, you can keep track of it through our reporting feature, but that's a different story. How much does it cost? Well, The initial price breakdown, and I don't normally talk about money, but at 100 users, it's $4 a seat annually, $4 a seat monthly, calculated annually. Anything beyond that, you really need to talk to one of our salespeople. I don't deal with that. Okay, so how do skills and courses relate to each other? So the way that works in Captivate Prime is you build out a skill library, and then as you're building your courses, you decide which courses are part of achieving a specific skill and a specific skill level. So you can have a course that attributes itself to multiple skills at a time or just a single skill. It depends on how you want to build that out. But that linkage is created when you're building out the course. How do you get your quiz scores? Sorry, I was doing so well not coughing. For quiz scores, let me go ahead and share my screen again so I can just show you that. Quiz scores, we got to log out, back to my administrator. Your learners would not be able to see that. And here we are back in as my administrator, Howard. And we're going to go ahead and jump back to the administrator role. And we'll go to the course library. And I'm going to try to find one that will have quiz scores that are already completed. I can't promise that, though. No, this one doesn't have it. Honing your lid. Here we go. I just did this, so should have some quiz scores you can view. There you go. Okay, so if you include a quiz as part of a course, and a quiz is a module in and of itself, so you can reuse those quizzes in different places if it's appropriate. But because it's SCORM or AICC compliant or Tin Can compliant, Prime can read that and it can display the score that each of those users got on that quiz. You can look at it either from a point perspective or you can look at it from a percentage perspective. And you can also export your quiz scores to Excel if you choose to do that. All right. Let's see, we already got an answer on that one. How do you share the learning plans with users? Well, that's what we're talking about. You don't actually have to share the learning plan to the user, because the user will, based on your employee data that you're either sending over nightly or you do in a one-time upload, they will match certain criteria which make up our user groups. And I guess I'll show you the user groups so maybe you can have a better understanding of that. But because they match a specific criteria that you have gone ahead and specified as part of that learning plan, they will automatically then be assigned that piece of learning. So it's not about sharing the plan to the user as much as it's a form of automation that assigns based on the criteria that you've specified. And I'm going to go to our user screen and I'm going to jump to user groups so that you can see the different types of user groups that are in the system. You can create custom ones, but so you can see that there are these user groups like all external users, all authors, all Adam Andrews direct reports. Maybe you want to look at this from an organization perspective, everybody that's in IT, everybody that's in marketing. So that's how they get the courses or the learning programs or the certifications or job aids based on the data that comes over, and Prime automatically breaks this out into user groups. So based on those user groups, they get the appropriate course and learning objects based on the learning plan that you configure. Yes, Prime can record attendance. So if you have live courses, it looks like she beat me to that one. But yes, if you have live courses or virtual courses, you can track attendance. To manage outside learners, is there a way that the user can be invited into the system? Yeah, so we have an external user feature. And the way that works is exactly what you're saying there, Jason. It allows you to specify an email to your primary contact of the external people, and that may be one person or it could be a team of people. It allows you to allocate a number of seats. So a seat is a named user that is taking up space and doing some sort of learning. And you can buy some of these seats for external learners, and because you can expire their access to the system through our external feature, that seat would become freed up for additional external learners, depending on how you're trying to train partners or contractors or whoever it might be. So we're getting close to time. Are there any other questions that you'd like to hear today? Any other answers? Hopefully you'll take the time to go to hopefully you'll take the time to go and take a free trial of Captivate Prime. If you look in the lower right hand or lower left hand corner, there's a bunch of links there, and you can go ahead and sign up for a free trial. It's 30 days. It has the full capabilities of Captivate Prime. I will also go ahead and put my email address in the discussion pod here. Feel free to reach out to me. I would love to answer any of your questions and help you out in any way. So thank you, everybody. Have a great day, and thank you for listening to me today. And sorry for that brief interruption.